Yo, welcome to ERB Season 6.
Hell yeah!
Hello, welcome to the behind the scenes of Che Guevara versus Guy Fawkes.
I think that this one's going to be really fun. Wolverine versus Freddy was very heavy and sinister and dark and scary and spooky, and I like this episode a lot. It's up and peppy, and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, something like something with your terrible rapping. You're an Che. That's Bay of Pigs Latin.
Che.
Why did we do Guy Fawkes versus Che Guevara? I was looking on an ERB2 video for suggestions that we might make in the next season, and I saw this one, Guy Fawkes, Che Guevara, Battle of the Failed Revolutionaries. And I was like, that's awesome. And I knew from that moment we were gonna make it.
It convinces us that the kind of hive brain of the internet is always going to be more creative and stronger than ours in a vacuum.
That's how quick it happens. You leave one comment and it sparks a revolution.
So today is a writing day. We're bringing in Zach. We're going to write on Che Guevara versus Guy Fawkes.
This is what we've wrote today so far.
Face facts, Ernesto. You're like Castro, but less so. He was the Cuba commander, and you're basically Destro.
We need to flush out some of the jokes. Some of it's too easy. Some of the jokes are just like set up punchline on like one syllable rhymes, and they're not so deep.
We rewrote this like a half a dozen times. Literally. There's an entire demo that's completely different of Guy Fawkes. It's a different character even.
This demo's going back and forth. The character of Guy Fawkes is tough. The best thing we have about Guy Fawkes is this hat. Usually we can write from a place of a character, and we don't have it yet.
We've learned to be really open to each other's feedback, and if somebody else reads it and goes, we know now, we trust each other enough to take that seriously and to go, you know what? If he doesn't like it, I'm gonna take a look at it with a new critical eye. The rewriting process is where it's at. That's where you really make good stuff.
Guevara the Terror, fresh Guevara, ill rum slayer from the 60s era, revolting heavy metal rebel blood spiller.
Rico is a dear friend of mine. He is a fellow improviser, fellow comedy actor. I met him at the West Side Comedy Theater, which is the comedy club I own with my best friends in the world.
And what do you do for a living right now?
So for a living right now, I'm a touring performer with the MI touring company. That's Mission Improbable. We travel all around the country. You will see me in New York.
Just came out of the can.
Hey, put this thing out!
It's chaos!
He brought a lot of great energy, especially on set. He's a young man with a lot of talent and a lot of drive and a lot of heart, and that really shows up.
If you were went to a party and there was oh, hey man, we're gonna beatbox and rap, Rico would be in that circle. I would probably be on the outside and be like, what are these guys doing? Okay, never mind.
When the idea to do Che came up, it was like, let's get Rob to do it, man. That would be great.
And he looked the effing part. Shay has this picture, what some people will say is the most famous picture in the world. We asked him to hit that pose. We want you to hit this pose. Look at that famous picture, hit that pose, and it was creepy how close he was to that look.
Ready for the Che look, man?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Stretch.
Do you have something to say to Che?
Oh, you got
Do you?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. I've been called the same.
Can you explain what's happening at EpicLLOYD today?
I'm zeroing out the meter on the compressor.
Hair more. Okay. Yeah, I think that did it.
A lot of the mixing in this one wasn't really mixing, it was editing. We had to edit these vocals to fit together. I wanted my voice to sound not too much like Caesar, not too much like anybody I'd done before. Let's open this up and see what our chain of effects is. This is pitch 2 because I decided to pitch down Guy Fawkes. That's a trick we use to make characters sound different from each other. We use a little pitch adjustment. And I think on Guy Fawkes is working really well. And with Rob, we really wanted to keep him in this kind of grumbly, low, cool, suave pocket.
Guevara the Terror, fresh Guevara, ill rum slayer from the 60s era, revolt.
This is what I think. I think it sounded good on Guevara the Terror. I think on Fresh Kangleware it got a little crowded. So we had takes that worked, takes that didn't work, and it was kind of a matter of splicing them all together. You know, the night of making a shoot mix before you have to film the next day, it's stressful. You're just trying to get something that sounds like a song that isn't going to be embarrassing when you play it in front of Jon Na. Honestly, that's my motivation every time. I would cut you, but I don't want your sweat on my sword! Ah! I think it's funnier in film.
I've always wanted to be able to communicate ideas, and I've always wanted to be able to drive this rig well enough so that when Pete has to record, he doesn't have to like run around and back and forth. So I made it my job to learn how to do Pro Tools and to learn, at least in a functional way, these programs. It's much easier to get into character and just like sort of vanish into another person's brain in the recording booth if you're not thinking about, okay, press this, okay, now do that, okay, now do this. It's just nice to be able to speak that language and be like, oh, it's kind of like this, and then just lay it down and there it is.
No one ever asks me this, but I like my beard. It complements my bald head, and I often have to shave my face and I look like a ping pong ball.
Piggerized beard, which is kind of a real deal beard. And then we could shave around it to get him the look that we wanted.
I got to have this cool Guy Fawkes mustache beard thing, and I got to have it for one day because I had to film a pickup shot of the Edward Scissorhands costume for the Wolverine versus Freddy Krueger rap battle the next day. And so I only got to have that cool mustache literally for one day.
Okay, we are on the way to our shoot.
Oh, it's hard not to look at my own weird face. I gotta tell you, I was walking past this corner store and this dude with like neck tattoos, this real hipstery hat, this like 110% hipster guy, looked at me and was like, "What's up, man?" And I was so confused. I was like, why did that guy just say hi to me? And then I remembered I have this facial hair and he thought I was one of his people. And he was like spotting me in the wild and be like, "What's up, dude?"
I have to say that when I had those chops last week, like a heavy metal dude, like came over to me and was like, "What's going on, man?"
Being independent adds a little bit of pressure in terms of people's time. In LA, there are standards, there's rules in place for how long people can work and what happens if you go overtime, and that no longer falls on a big company that we work for, it falls on us.
It's different, man. Now that we are like our own thing, like if we go long, before we had the studio and you're like, they just gotta do it.
It's kind of a good lesson for us. It's taught us to have a little more preparation and to be a little more responsible with the production of stuff. We try to plan things out, know exactly what we're gonna get, what we're not gonna get. It's new, but it's fun.
So normal production concerns, safety. Did not know about the sword that was going to be on set until the last minute, so do have some concerns about that. I've got to make sure no one else is messing around with it. No one plays with it. No one thinks it's fun to do little bits with it. Nope, that's as for use only on camera, and then it goes back to the props table where no one should be touching things. Again, there was drinks on the props table. Sign says no drinks, but it's fine. We went and rented some barrels, these little tiny barrels that really added a little bit of authenticity to the shot. We placed them all throughout the green screen. There's only 4 of them, so we just moved them over and over again. They had us walk out of frame and then walk back onto frame and move them, then walk back out of frame. And so what they can do is build a wall of barrels.
Is this your first time like doing makeup stuff?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah?
So that's what I was telling Brittany, it's like a new experience for me.
Rob also grew out his beard and he's got more of a baby face. No offense, Rob. Then we added some hair to it.
And the fact that they were actually able to make a guy like me have a beard at the end of this, that's saying how good she is. Because I can't grow facial hair at all. That's why I told Morgan, that's why I signed up for the battle. I just wanted a beard. I'm not taking this off.
I have to give a big thank you to our crew. We've been working with a lot of the same people for many years. They show up with this positive energy that inspires us to want to show up with the best song possible.
We're a small crew. We've used the same people for a long time. We keep the numbers in crew very small.
I can't say enough about the crew that we have. I'm constantly amazed at the level of talent that I have the luxury and the privilege to be surrounded by.
On set, when you have the crew supporting you, you're able to take risks and you're able to experiment and you're able to do things you could never do on your own. So thanks everybody on the crew. I love you.
To everybody who's joined our Patreon, thank you so very much for supporting us and helping us make these rap battles and make these videos that we love making.
The way that YouTube has changed and the way that the revenue from it has changed, the things we're trying to do with the series, we couldn't do them without you. So you've really made this possible.
It makes me feel really proud that you guys are down to support us and you got our back. It feels like a crew, it feels like a squad.
It's been interesting to go into the Patreon and get a little more kind of a condensed assessment of what people are thinking, what people are talking about. So share what you feel. We really do appreciate all the feedback.
Shay's feeling fantastic today. It's a good day.
Damn, you look like Che.
So I've been told. Tonight, we revolt.
It's hard to look somebody straight in the face and be like, I'm a rapper.
No, real.
But no, seriously.